Today we're going to see a different and unique recipe using tomatoes. It's a Middle Eastern breakfast dish called Shakshuka. The name might be complex, but the dish is so simple that you need only a couple of ingredients. You just need some tomatoes and some eggs to make this dish. Now let's get started. To a hot pan, I'm adding in around 2 tablespoons of olive oil, adding in around 2 tablespoons of finely chopped garlic and half cup of finely sliced onion. Let's cook until the onion turns nice and translucent. I have used a grater to slice my onions very finely. It's not necessary that you have to slice them. You can also chop your vegetables and the onion very finely and add it to the dish. Let's wait until the onion and the garlic is completely cooked. Once the onions are done, it's time to add in our veggies. Here I'm adding 1 cup of sliced capsicum and 1 whole cup of sliced red bell peppers. Let's saute the vegetables nicely until they are half cooked. The colors from the peppers look beautiful. At this point you can add few more veggies or beans if you'd like. Once the vegetables are done, it's time to add in our spices. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, half a tablespoon of coriander powder and 1 teaspoon of chili powder, around 1 teaspoon of salt. Let's roast the spices along with the vegetables. After around 2 to 3 minutes of roasting our spices, let's add in our tomatoes. Here I have 2 cups of canned tomatoes. You can substitute it with 5 to 6 large size tomatoes. The finer you chop the tomatoes, the quicker it's going to cook. Let's cook until the tomatoes turn nice and soft. Now our tomatoes are completely cooked, adding in half a teaspoon of sugar here to balance the sourness from the tomatoes. Let's give a quick mix, and it's time to add one more last spice here. It's an African spice called the Harissa powder. If you don't have this Harissa powder, you can substitute it with garam masala. It'll be equally good. Now it's time to add in our eggs. Here I'm going to add 6 eggs. I'm making small wheels and starting to add my eggs. To prevent the eggs from getting burnt, make sure to keep the flame in low to medium heat. The other ways to cook this recipe is you can turn your oven on to 350 degrees and bake it for 10 to 15 minutes. If you want your eggs to be half boiled, just cover it and cook for 5 to 6 minutes. If you want your egg to be full boiled, you can cook around 8 to 10 minutes. Now I'm going to cover and cook my eggs for 5 to 6 minutes because I want it as a half boiled egg. Our eggs are now beautifully done. Let's garnish this with a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. And the cilantro gives a good flavor for this dish. It's a must that you add at least a half cup of cilantro to garnish this dish. Let's serve this with bread or roti. Please definitely try this recipe and let me know in the comment section how it turned out for you. If you like my recipes, hit the like button and please consider subscribing to my channel Keerthana Cooks. See you soon in another recipe.